that USE and UPE are introduced to increase numbers
Enrollment.
and literacy. Then you say that this new curriculum is to tackle the challenges associated with UPE and USE. So, okay, so what do you think are the challenges we are likely to face? We are likely to continue to face if they are not tackled, for example, now.
Okay. Now there are certain challenges. Very many Ugandans at a certain point lack integrity.
Okay.
I don't want the word integrity to be a replacement for intelligence. Where we know the right thing,
Yes.
but we don't do the right thing because probably the right thing is quite expensive for us.
Okay.
We choose to do the wrong thing
Because it is cheap.
because it is cheap and easy. So challenge number one is probably the teachers who haven't yet chosen to work in integrity.
Okay.
That is challenge number one of the competency-based curriculum. For example, NCDC recommends that probably classes should end at 1 o'clock.
Yes, yes.
And then we do the other school activities for the rest of the day.
Yes.
But you find schools which still teach learners until 10 o'clock in the night.
Integrity.
They run their lessons from 7 to 4:40. You find NCDC says, let us concentrate on the activities of integration.
Okay.
Let us concentrate on the subject achievement.
Yes,
Let us concentrate on the project work. And you find schools and teachers still concentrating on beginning of term, mid of term, and end of term.
Yes, yes.
That is why I would say those ones are probably working contrary. They know the right thing, but they choose not to do it because they feel it is not as much pressure pumping like it was in the competency-based curriculum. Another thing is still under the mindset where teachers think they are the source of knowledge.
Okay.
That is not true. Teachers are not the source of knowledge. Knowledge can be got from almost everywhere.
Yes.
But teachers are instructors that guide learners to discover the knowledge
For themselves.
So that is why I would say challenge number one would be the integrity of the teachers.
Yes.
Secondly, after the integrity of the teachers, we would probably look at the teacher-student ratio.
Okay, the ratio, okay.
Where one teacher has a class of over 200. There is a school I visited where they have over 12 streams in a class. Those are approximately 2,000 students in a class. So challenge where the teachers are few and the learners are many.
Yes.
I believe this will be a challenge for some time until when the different stakeholders work out a mechanism to recruit as many as possible so that we can reduce on the teacher-student ratio. Another challenge that we are likely to face is probably the resources, especially when it comes to the science subjects.
Yes.
You realize that the science teachers have a bigger responsibility in the midst of the major resources schools have.
Yes.
And I believe various stakeholders can come up and support the science department. Government is trying to do it, but I believe we can do it continuously and better to improve the situation. And then another challenge probably at school level is probably the salaries.
Yes.
I say the problem is not money. But at least when you look at the market levels and the market values,
Yes.
There should be some remuneration to motivate.
Yes.
Because the more we emphasize do this, they somehow feel cornered at a certain point.
Yes.
I say, this is too much. How will I feed my children? Look at a salary of around 800,000.
Yes.
And then vis-a-vis the 2.8 million. Eh?
Yes.
There is that disparity.
It's huge.
Which is creating the pain.
Yes.
In the implementers. So
I get you.
the earlier we handle that, the better off.
The earlier our challenges can be solved.
Exactly.
It's deep. You talk about integrity, you talk about teacher-student ratios, you talk about motivation. Okay. The stakeholders have a part to play, even the individuals, because integrity is individual.
Yeah.
So what has changed in English for where you expertise?
English language.
Yes, and your literature.
English language, not so much has changed, because when you look at the makeup of the language departments, language is about speaking, talking, reading, writing, and listening. And we realize that oftentimes people hear, but they don't listen. And the challenge was we were emphasizing the reading and writing, ignoring the speaking and the listening. Yet these are two competencies that are quite important. We produce a product or a student who knows how to write and read, but can barely talk.
Okay.
Yet, when you train the child, he will learn to speak. He will learn to listen. You realize that some Ugandans who can read a post do not put rubbish here.
Yes.
And it is only in Uganda where the people ask why. You find a signpost, do not smoke.
Yes.
And somebody picks a cigarette and smokes in that very place.
Oh.
And ask them, let me see what will happen. That is a challenge in listening. They hear, but they don't listen. Because listening comes with comprehension.
Okay.
You listen, you comprehend, and then you act.
With respect to
So
what
as language teachers, the competency-based curriculum is just drawing us back to emphasize a few aspects within our classroom settings.
Okay.
That this time when I go to class, when I'm going to teach speaking, let me teach the qualities of a good speaker, how eloquent should a speaker do, the non-verbal cues involved, the voice intonation, the pronunciation, all aspects of speech.
Yes.
Let it be that day we are dealing with speech. When I come to deal with reading, let me deal with the technicalities. How do we read? What should be the sitting posture when I'm reading? What should be how should I project my voice when I'm reading? How should I punctuate when I'm reading? If I am listening, how should my concentration be? Very many Africans do not keep eye contact. They are speaking to a person, but they're looking somewhere else other than the eyeball. But sometimes when you train a child to focus on the eyeball, his mind will be focused on the information, on the message that is coming out. So these are skills that we need to emphasize. Basically, nothing changed apart from the emphasis on those 4 language aspects.
Okay.
And this curriculum is quite rich. It has over 18 languages.
Really?
18 languages in this curriculum. We have all the languages: Runyankore, Ruchiga, we have Luganda, we have Japadora, we have Itiso, we have Lugbar, so many languages.
Okay.
So plus the 18 languages, somebody can be a specialist in Lugbar. That would
Sure.
be wonderful.
Even the
Another one would be a
international.
specialist in sign languages.
Okay.
Like somebody, you know,
It's
how
really-
they greet in sign
It's
language.
really inclusive. I don't know.
This is how they just say, good morning,
Good.
morning,
Hey.
good afternoon.
Morning is then.
So morning, the sun rises.
Yes.
Afternoon, the sun sets.
Good morning, you. So as we take the final thoughts, what are your final thoughts on our education in Uganda?
My final remarks would be the new lower secondary school curriculum is a beautiful thing. In fact, we should probably recommend the government of Uganda, and there are various implementation strategies. We may have had follies here and there, but they're doing the right thing.
Okay.
To the education system, they are doing the right thing. We
Yes.
just need to trust them a little.
Okay.
Trust them a little and take our time to understand the entire package.
That they carry.
Attend as many trainings and conferences about the new curriculum as possible. Wherever you hear it, wherever somebody comes up, get as much knowledge about
go.
it. Because as a parent, there's some parents who are worried about what is happening. There are some teachers who are skeptical.
Yes.
How far is this going to go? There
Sure.
are some learners, because whatever we feel as elders, we pass it on to our children,
Verbally or non-verbally.
verbally or non-verbally.
Yes.
But the government is doing the right thing in
Yes.
the implementation
Yes,
of the new
yes.
law. All government organs, the NCDC, UNEB, and all other entities,
Yes,
they are
yes.
doing the right thing. We just have to trust them a little, because I believe no one wants to fail the children,
Sure.
because it is the child who is at the center of it all.
Yes.
That is why I said earlier on that NCDC, UNEB, Ministry of Education has been in the kitchen for the past 4 years,
Doing this.
preparing for the graduates that we are bound to see.
Yes.
For 4 years, they've had sleepless nights, waiting, baking the cake of new curriculum.
Okay.
And I believe that come October, November
This year.
2024, the cake is going to be served.
And we test.
And we are going to test.
Yes.
Now the testing is going to go on when we see our graduates of Senior 4 transit to Senior 5.
Yes.
To them, or at the back of every one of those teachers, because most of them are teachers, at the back of most of those teachers, they are worried about how will this child come up.
Yes.
What kind of qualities do we need from this child?
Yes.
How will this different Ugandan survive
Yes.
in Uganda? And slowly by slowly, we shall achieve the other one, that the entire generation will change. There was a young man who went for a trip in Italy.
Okay.
And when he went in Italy, he booked into a hotel.
Yes.
And when he booked in a hotel, he felt the heat because it was summer, so he felt the heat.
Yes.
And he needed to go swimming. But at the hotel, there was a swimming pool. And he was given access to the swimming pool.
Yes.
And while he was swimming, he felt like he needed to urinate.
Okay.
And he figured it out as a good Ugandan that water is water. So
and urine
he
is
decided
liquid.
to urinate in the swimming pool. But as soon as he started the water in the entire pool turned pink.
How large was the swimming pool now?
The swimming pool was white, but
Okay.
as soon as he started, an antibody had entered. So the water turned pink, and the security officers asked him to get out of the pool. When they asked him to get out of the pool, they also asked him to check out of the hotel.
Yes.
And he thought it was an ordinary thing. For him, he didn't see a problem.
Yes.
There was no problem. It was water. I just increased on the level of water. And when he was asked to get out of the swimming pool, he was asked to get out of the hotel. He was also asked he thought he would book into another hotel. But apparently, every hotel he would go to, they would refer him back to his embassy. He ended up spending the night at the Ugandan embassy in Italy. The problem was character.
Yes, correct.
So there will come a time when the water in the whole country turns pink. When it turns pink, things will definitely change.
We cannot go any further.
So we need to change.
Yes. Sure.
Learn, relearn, and unlearn.
You have painted. You have painted the water pink. Thank you so much for honoring the invite. We thank God for the work you are doing, and we pray God grants you more life. Tell us, if you look back at your 10-year-old self, 15-year-old, what would you tell that young Nabisubi Diana?
One thing.
Just one.
I would tell her to be more zealous.
Okay.
And more hardworking. I believe I haven't worked hard enough. So that younger self should dream on and follow her dreams to make them tangible.
Sure, more zealous. Thank you so much. And dear viewer, you have heard it from the horse's mouth. The other one says you can take a horse to the water source, but you cannot force it to drink. Yet, the other one also adds and says, if you put salt around the mouth of the horse, you are increasing its appetite to water. What we are doing is here, we are trying to put salt around your mouth to have appetite for study. And we are glad that Madam Diana, you have done us well. We are looking forward to hosting you again. Thank you so much for coming.